What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about Hologram. I want to go over some of the current data points and break it down on what realistically will happen to Hologram if they don't do something soon. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off on Friday, when everything was rallying because of optimism associated with rate cuts and whatever else, Hologram went down 9.28%. So a new 52-week low of 23.5 cents. And over the last 1 week alone, it is down 15%. Last 1 month down 20%, 6 months down 96.4%. And it's astonishing. I do bring this up every video. And the reason why I bring this up is because Hologram, for the most part, is a kind of a hybrid stock. So momentum play, AI and stuff like that. But for a momentum play, you need to kind of give investors a reason to buy. Like, it's mind-blowing, right? But the last news that came out was February the 7th. So the only thing that they've been really doing is issuing a hell of a lot of notes, and investors been saying, like, more please. It is the most messed up kind of scenario. And I get it. Like, to be optimistic, like Hologram logically should be doing something with 150 plus million in cash and cash equivalents, but are they going to do anything? We'll just have to wait and see. But in reality, like, Hologram, for the most part, is just going to continue to trend down. And this is one thing I've been stating time and time again, that it will continue to trend down until they actually do unveil a catalyst. And a lot of investors and other YouTubers are just saying that they're going to be participating in conferences and stuff like that. Like, they haven't done anything. So kind of shows, in my opinion, that they're dormant. Even looking at their financials, right? Like, on a quarterly basis, like, everything shows that they aren't doing jack all whatsoever. Like, they've been maybe mid to 2023 or they were doing something. Aside from that, they've given completely up, with the exception of dilution, right? So aside from that, though, it did on Friday break below this S2. So on a technical level, around 20 cents is going to be the next stop. And then aside from that, then this is where it gets into free fall mode. And I kind of loosely said in the past that is going to go to 10 cents. The only thing, kind of caveat, so they do have an upcoming shareholder meeting to have a reverse stock split, but they have up until February the 10th, 2025 to kind of rectify that deficiency, whether it be naturally or by a reverse stock split. And it does actually state right here that they could just appeal for another 180 days right here, this section right here. So in reality, it's not that big of a deal, but if they, for instance, do continue this trend down prior to kind of the approval of the reverse stock split, then this is where they get into scary territory. So the reason why they did a reverse stock split in the past is because they were trading below 10 cents. And if you trade below 10 cents for 10 consecutive trading days, then you're immediately delisted. No grace period, nothing like that. Of course, the company could appeal it and whatever else, but this is what really does prompt a reverse stock split. Because I've had some people in the past comment saying, like, well, when are they going to do a reverse stock split? Honestly, it all depends on timing. So essentially, if they do not go kind of break that 10 cent mark, then it most likely will be closer to this date. My own opinion, of course. They can technically do it 1 year out once they get the approval, anytime within that 1 year. But like, with all these short-term notes that are due in 2025, all of that is going to be very damaging. And I've had some people kind of go back and forth with me on the comments in my last videos, and a lot of people maybe don't understand the notes. So ultimately, there's two different variations that you have to be aware of. There's the principal that has to be repaid, as well as the interest. Interest is straight conversion. So all of these are convertible notes, right? So when it comes down to those conversions, that is where they have not been done, because interest is not due yet. So when I'm saying that future dilution is going to really hurt the stock price, I'm talking about that interest payments on all 4 or 5 of those notes that they have done. That is what is going to be damaging, and that is what has not really affected the company yet. So just wanted to kind of break that down. So in reality, like I said, I do anticipate more continuation of a downtrend until they actually do finally give a shit and put out news. Pardon my French. But shorts, let's go over some data points. 5.35% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 4.28 million shares. So Ortex did update the outstanding share count. So previously it was, I think, at 7, 8, and even at that time I did estimate it'd be between that 5 or 4 to 6% range. But on Friday, shorts did return 325,000 shares. Cost to borrow average is somewhat in line with what it has been, so 17.37 short score. So the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening is 58.39%. Obviously, Hologram doesn't have any options, nothing like that, but still over the last several trading days, no institutions have really cared to buy. So all these have been buys, so I got to give credit when credit is due. So there has been 4 buys. Again, that could be a lot of different things. Could be shorts buying back their shares. It could be a actual entity wanting to buy for the long term. But last one was on September the 3rd. August 26th, 23rd, and then August the 20th. These are all the transactions that have been occurring on the dark pool. So there was one done on the 13th, so yesterday, for 148,000. Aside from that, still it's not even that popular, and dark pool is often enough linked to shorting. So when it comes down to a hologram, I think just right now it's just trending down and will continue. So hopefully they do put out something. Of course, I think they are very much late on a lot of their earnings. So most likely they're going to get notices fairly soon about that. So that's going to be something that also comes down the pipeline. And in my opinion, the reason why they're holding off on their earnings, it could be because A, they're just dormant and not really doing anything, or B, is they are afraid to kind of update the outstanding share count, and that would really fluctuate the stock price very much, because unprofitable companies such as Hologram, like, there's several things that the market cares about, one of which is how much cash you're burning through. Second is dilution. So dilution is, in Hologram's case, the big caveat that you need to really care about. And again, I really don't care if you guys are buying or selling. I'm just trying to educate you guys and break it down on why Hologram is truly going down and why it's not really reacting to the broader market sentiment as being very bullish. And because even looking over here, the fear and greed index is under the neutral category, and it's improved quite a lot. And so in theory, people's appetite for risk is increasing, but you don't see all of that much happening with Hologram. And the reason why is because the company, again, it hasn't really helped. Like, it doesn't really take much. They barely put out any piece of news on the 7th, and that caused a massive spike. But again, they could just simply say, hey, we're participating in this conference, and probably the stock would go up like good 400%. But we'll just have to wait and see. On the technical level, like I said, it's just kind of continuing to break down. On the actual chart itself, of course, you have to take this all with a grain of salt because it's not all the best sometimes. But give you a quick overview of this. You do see number of retail investors as well just have been getting out for the last month. For the most part, last 3 weeks, with the exception of Friday, there was a little bit of buying, but for the most part, Hologram is extremely mind-blowingly oversold, and it is at 0.9. I don't think I've ever seen anything that low. So in reality, even if they put out saying, hey, I had a ham sandwich for lunch, that would probably incentivize some buying. It's absolutely crazy. But again, investors seem to love Hologram because people have seen it in the past spike up, and this is what is alluring a lot of people in. So it could do that, it might not. We'll just have to wait and see. Logically, I think people have a kind heart, so they always assume that Hologram has the best interest and that they're kind of have high integrity. But we'll just have to wait and see if that is accurate or not, or if they're just going to swindle the money through one of their subsidiaries. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And one final thing, don't forget to take advantage of this promo. It has been extended up until September the 30th. This is a kick-ass deal. It does give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So this is a must-do promo. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.